The gap between Joe Biden and President Trump tightening in critical states, including battleground Arizona. As President Trump supporters rally in the Valley.
Mark Kelly versus Martha McSally. Who will win the Senate race?
New developments in the battle over ballot Sharpie concerns.
Not guilty of the crime of murder.
Nicole Brown Simpson's diaries, revealing disturbing new details about her and OJ's rocky relationship.
And weather alert, record-breaking high heat, but temperatures are about to tumble. And good evening, everyone. Up first tonight, breaking news surrounding Decision 2020. President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden locked in a very tight race. The president's lead less than 1,800 in Georgia and just about 26,000 in Pennsylvania. Joe Biden closing the gaps in both of those states.
However, Biden is maintaining his slim lead in Nevada. And then here in battleground Arizona, Biden's lead is shrinking. He is now up by just about 46,000 votes in Arizona, but maintaining his lead over President Donald Trump. The race is still too close to call, and Biden now has just more than 50% of the vote, with Trump's 49%.
And the president's supporters once again gathering in the Valley tonight outside the Maricopa County Vote Tabulation Center, protesting and calling for every vote to be counted. You're getting the best Decision 2020 live team coverage tonight.
Team 12's Michael Doudna is tracking the latest in our Senate race, while Bianca Bono has the latest from the protest in downtown Phoenix.
But first, the race for the White House. Let's take a look at the latest electoral map from NBC News. And right now, Joe Biden is within striking distance of becoming the next president with 253 electoral votes to President Trump's 214. And tonight we're hearing from both candidates as election workers continue to work around the clock. President Trump continuing to mount legal challenges in several states.
Meanwhile, former Vice President Joe Biden is urging his supporters to stay patient and calm and trust the system.
Democracy is sometimes messy. It sometimes requires a little patience as well. We have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners.
Meanwhile, President Trump making unsupported claims of voter fraud and that he thinks the winner of this election will be decided in court.
Our goal is to defend the integrity of the election. We'll not allow the corruption to steal such an important election, or any election for that matter. You know, I've claimed certain states, and he's claiming states, and we can both claim the states, but ultimately I have a feeling judges are going to have to rule.
All right, so here's the question that we have for you tonight. Which state do you think will be the difference maker in the presidential election? You've got your choices there at the bottom. Right now, 61% of you are saying that it will be Pennsylvania, and then right after that would be Arizona at 17%. But again, it looks like Pennsylvania is what a majority of you are saying. You can still vote right now. You have plenty of time. Go to 12news.com/bullhorn, or you can vote in our 12 News app.
And tonight, supporters of President Trump are still gathered outside the Maricopa County Election Department, chanting about counting the votes.
That's right. Let's get straight to Team 12's Bianca Bono, who has been there all night. And Bianca, what is the situation like there right now?
Well, I'll tell you guys, the group of President Trump supporters has been growing by the hour. And at this hour, there is still a sizable group out here waving flags and chanting they want their votes counted, which, of course, has been happening inside the very building they're standing in front of. And this calm and relatively quiet night did take a shift when a surprise guest showed up. Political extremist and far-right conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Take a look.
They want to be able to express their opinion, express their voice, and be able to, to basically show their government.
The world is watching the example of Arizona. The president is watching the example. You're not going to let them steal this. We're not going to let them steal it in Georgia. We're not going to let them steal it in Pennsylvania. And you are here in defiance, and you are amazing. USA! USA! USA!
And Jones screaming about not letting this election be, quote, stolen. He walked through the crowd, many shouting they loved him, asking for selfies before he climbed on top of a car, continuing to yell to the crowd. As this happened, a small group of counter-protesters did show up here, creating probably the most tense moment of the night, causing MCSO to move in briefly, but they quickly left the area. Jones stayed here for about 20 to 30 minutes or so before leaving, thanking everyone for being out here. I've talked with many of the president's supporters throughout the night, asking why they are out here.
They want to be able to express their opinion, express their voice, and be able to, to basically show their government, hey, we're here.
We are here to protect the democracy of this election. We are here to be peaceful.
So the one thing I want to tell you guys, we are happy campers. We are happy campers because we're getting exactly what we deserve.
And after tonight's number drop around 7, this crowd did take on a new life. They tell me they feel confident the president can win Arizona. But they will remain here to, quote, hold election officials accountable and ensure the ballot counting process is fair. As a reminder, state leaders say there was no evidence to show disenfranchisement of any voters. We're live in Phoenix tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News at 10.
All right, Bianca, thank you for that update. Now to the race for the U.S. Senate. Former NASA astronaut Mark Kelly is leading Senator Martha McSally. His lead is down, though, but is still up more than 100,000 votes, with hundreds of thousands of ballots still left to count across Arizona.
Team 12's Michael Doudna joins us now live as we continue our coverage. And Michael, I guess the question is, can Martha McSally make up that ground?
Yeah, that's the big question here. The Kelly campaign remains confident, of course, pointing to their lead, but sources close to the McSally campaign say they believe there is still a path. So we talked to a Republican pollster, and he says there just might not be enough votes out there for McSally to catch up.
This is about each one of the people that are out here voting. It's about them.
Words from Election Day ring true now. It's all about the votes, and if there's enough out there to make up the difference.
What we're finding so far is that the ballots that are left to count are tending to trend Republican.
That's Paul Bentz, a Republican pollster. He says Mark Kelly got out to a commanding lead thanks to early votes, but that lead is shrinking as Election Day votes and those late early votes have trended Republican.
And those are the ones that came in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So those are definitely acting more like Election Day voters.
But Bentz says Kelly is still comfortably in the driver's seat here. He says that despite the closing of the gap, McSally would need to win around 2/3 of the remaining vote.
I just think the problem is, like a basketball game, sometimes the home team is starting to catch up and catches on fire, but then the clock runs out.
And soon the game will change, as the state will count the ballots that were dropped off on Election Day, bringing unknowns.
That's a whole mixed bag because we don't know who those people are. We don't have any scanning of their party, age, affiliation.
And with tight races that are up and down the ballot, Ben says this just may be the beginning of close races for years to come.
Number two, it means that we are and will be probably the battleground state for the next 10 to 15 years.
And we do expect to see the next major ballot dump of results tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Of course, when that happens, we'll be able there to bring it to you. We're live in the newsroom. Michael Doudna, 12 News at 10.
All right, Michael, thank you. Now to the battle over Sharpie ballot concerns. Tonight, the Trump campaign and the Republican National Committee are joining a lawsuit against Maricopa County on behalf of the people who feel that their votes weren't counted because they used a Sharpie on Election Day. Well, the clock is now ticking after the first hearing in the case.
Team 12's Mitch Carr joins us now with what we're learning tonight. Mitch.
Who would have ever thought something so small would cause such a big problem? The Trump campaign has filed a number of lawsuits all across the country seeking to challenge the counting of votes in various states, and the lawsuit in Arizona is over voting with a Sharpie. The plaintiffs suing Maricopa County believe their vote wasn't counted because they filled out their ballots with a Sharpie.
There's one question, which is how many people did this happen to?
Attorneys suing claim the Sharpie issue extends beyond Maricopa County to 1,000 or more voters statewide. The Trump campaign's attorney proposed a drawn-out process that could take weeks to even begin. They want to fix the problem by letting voters visit counting centers themselves to identify their ballots and make sure they were counted. The county's attorney, Thomas Liddy, says that is a problem.
The ballots are separated from the envelopes. They're not in any way identifiable per voter. So the remedy that is being requested in this action is impossible.
The county and the state Democratic Party want the suit dismissed. Arizona's Republican Attorney General now says himself that there is no basis for questioning a vote by Sharpie. ASU law professor Paul Bender believes there's an easy way to settle this.
You can get a machine, you can get a ballot, you can put a Sharpie, write something on it with a Sharpie, put it through the machine and see if the machine counts it.
The next thing that's going to happen in this lawsuit is that Judge Margaret Mahoney asked for a detailed timeline from either side about what needs to happen and when, and that is due by Friday at 11:30. Mitch Carr, 12 News.
All right, Mitch, thanks. The Maricopa County Attorney's race also very close. Alistair Adele leads by about 16,000 votes. These results coming in as Adele is recovering from emergency surgery. You may remember that she was rushed to the hospital on election night with bleeding on the brain.
She is in serious but stable condition. Adele's top deputy is currently overseeing the county attorney's office.
True Crime Thursday. After the break, we're taking a look back at the O.J. Simpson case in the words of his ex-wife, Nicole.
Are the holidays coming a little early this year? Why some people are saying they aren't even waiting to put the decorations up.
The NBA's return to play. Find out when the Suns will be back on the court this winter.
And the hottest November day ever, but could it be coming before a big cool down?
And the viral search for a baby goat when 12 News at 10 returns. Twelve News at 10 is back now with more on Decision 2020. Let's check in on Prop 208, the Invest in Ed initiative. Right now, the yes votes are up by about 4%, and the AP is declaring that 208 has passed tonight. Only on 12 News at 10, it is True Crime Thursday. 25 years after the trial of the century ended with jurors acquitting O.J. Simpson, the diaries of his ex-wife are revealing disturbing new details.
Team 12's Tram Mai joins us now with what Nicole wrote about her rocky relationship with O.J. Tram?
Guys, this new documentary coincides with the 25th anniversary of O.J. Simpson's acquittal in this infamous murder case. And for the first time ever, the diaries of Nicole Brown Simpson are public and revealing accounts of alleged domestic violence.
Body of 34-year-old Nicole Brown Simpson, ex-wife of O.J. Simpson.
The new 2-hour investigation discovery special called O.J. and Nicole, an American tragedy, shows the infamous murder case as never told before. Tanya Brown, Nicole Brown Simpson's younger sister, explores O.J. and Nicole's relationship, along with the trial of the century that ensued afterwards. Tanya uses Nicole's words and the photos Nicole left behind to reveal her family's experience.
Looking at our wedding tape and our family movies, and I can see that we truly loved each other.
Nicole Brown Simpson's diaries were reportedly found in her safe deposit box.
Dear OJ, I want to put our family together. I want our kids to grow up with their parents. I want us to be the way we used to be. I did not even know she wrote this.
Nicole married O.J. in 1985. But it wasn't always happy. Nicole wrote in her diaries about how O.J. allegedly abused her on more than 60 different occasions, along with photos of her beaten and bruised body.
First time he beat me up. Threw me on the floor, hit me, kicked me. Continued to beat me for hours as I kept crawling for the door.
But the accounts of physical abuse weren't admissible into evidence in O.J.'s trial because the judge considered them hearsay. On October 3rd, 1995,
Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder.
Jurors acquitting O.J. Simpson of killing Nicole and Ron Goldman. The law later catching up with the juice in 2008 with a conviction tied to the kidnapping and armed robbery of 2 sports memorabilia dealers in a Vegas hotel room.
Come on out.
Nevada's parole board granting him freedom in 2017 after 9 years behind bars.
I've done my time. You know, I've done it as well and as respectfully as I think anybody can.
Simpson's parole appalling Ron Goldman's father, Fred, who lives in the valley.
Not too terribly thrilled that any horrible human being, certainly he is included in that description, gets out of jail.
In addition to the diaries found in Nicole's safe deposit box, there were letters allegedly written by O.J. apologizing for his attacks. Back to you.
All right, Tram, thank you. Well, now from the night team, it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas, even though it's just a few days after Halloween and temperatures are close to 100. But the biggest Christmas tree in the state is now standing tall at the outlets at Anthem. And that's not the only sign of people turning their attention to the holidays.
We can all use a little dose of the holidays right now. Team 12's Nyala Charles shows how people are shining the light during these troubled times.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
The first sign of Christmas season in the valley is here. The 70-foot-tall tree is now standing tall in Anthem, and now nearly a dozen decorators will adorn it with lights, ornaments, and a 3-foot copper star. For many, the holiday season can't come fast enough. On Twitter, some people weighing in about their 2020 fatigue, saying, "Is it too early to put up Christmas lights? We all need some cheering up. I want to spread Christmas cheer." An Oklahoman telling The Tonight Show's Jimmy Kimmel, between the ice storm, COVID, and the election, putting up lights was very therapeutic. In Scottsdale, this family giving us an inside look at their home. Christmas tree up and ready. Christmas cookie! Even Hallmark and Lifetime are getting the hint that people are looking to lighten the mood, starting their holiday programming early. Hallmark kicked off its countdown to Christmas on Halloween, and Lifetime started even before that, proving that many people are looking for some holiday cheer, any way they can get it. By the way, the tree lighting in Anthem is set for November 21st. Nyala Charles, 12 News.
I don't know, Lindsay, I can't do it yet. It's just too early, and the temperatures are still about 100 degrees.
Yes, they were. Just 1 degree shy today. Today being the hottest November day that we've ever seen in both Phoenix and Tucson. We also set a daily record. 99 the official high in Phoenix this afternoon. 94 degrees in Tucson. We have one more day of heat, but notice the clouds are moving in, and those clouds are going to stick with us through the weekend, and we have a major pattern shift. This was the sunset tonight out in western Arizona. Here's the disturbance we're looking at. It's originating up in the Pacific Northwest. It's going to dive to the south, bringing rain and snow to portions of the state and much colder temperatures, at least a 20-degree temperature drop on the horizon for us this weekend. It's 80 degrees right now in Phoenix and Tucson, 68 in Safford, Winslow coming in at 50. Tomorrow is our last 90-degree day, at least for now. 1 degree shy of a record, but notice all the cloud cover around the state. We're not calling for any precipitation tomorrow, but it's just going to be a partly to mostly cloudy and breezy day. You'll notice that wind speed pick up during the afternoon. And then as we get into Saturday, the best chance for some shower activity will be up across the high country, north of the city as we get into the afternoon hours. The cold front will pass later in the afternoon Saturday, and some colder air pushes in, and we'll see that transition from rain over to snow, with that snow line dropping from 8,000 down to 5,000 feet. Above 6,000 feet, so this includes Flagstaff and the mountainous areas, we're looking at anywhere from 6 to 12 inches between Saturday night and Monday, and then we'll see a lot less than that the lower you get in elevation. Even in the valley, 1/10 of an inch of rain in the forecast. 30 and 40 mile per hour wind gusts expected around the Flagstaff area, with those highs in the 30s this weekend. We'll drop into the 50s even in Tucson on Monday with an isolated shower chance there. And in Phoenix, we'll have an isolated shower chance, but overall more clouds than sun and more dry time than wet.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Ahead on 12 News at 10, the latest on when the NBA can begin its season.
Plus, do you remember Gus Gus? A look back at the search for that little guy there, taken from the State Fair, coming up in just a few minutes on 12 News at 10.
Wildfire season is lasting longer and becoming more dangerous. And it's not just here in Arizona. Other western states are seeing historic devastation this year. Coming up Friday on Today in AZ, what's behind the increased risk, how these fires spread so fast, and what we can all do to help protect our state from the flames. Don't miss Wildfire Dangers Friday on Today in AZ.
Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully this mic works. Okay.
All right, let's talk some sports now. Kirsten Susel with us, and do we finally have official word on when the NBA begins?
We do, Mark. NBA players tentatively voted to approve the start date for the new season on December 22nd. They still have a few details to work out, though, but the league will play a 72-game season, and this decision pretty much expected. Rather than waiting until January to begin, there's a few reasons why. It gives the league more revenue from TV partners, and it also avoids any overlap with the Summer Olympics. According to NBA insider Shams Charania, the league's goal is to also have some amount of fans at games to start the season, depending on each market's restrictions. Well, good news for the Cardinals. Safety Jalen Thompson will play Sunday against the Dolphins. He's been sidelined with an ankle injury he suffered back in Week 1. Defensive coordinator Vance Joseph is hopeful. Cornerback Drake Kirkpatrick can also play, but if not, we could see Prince Amukamara make his Cardinals debut. Well, the NFL just proved it is not messing around when it comes to COVID-19 and the protocols they put in place. The league fined the Raiders $500,000, fined its head coach John Gruden an additional $150,000, and stripped a 2021 sixth-round draft pick from the team, all due to what the league deemed repeat offenses against COVID-19 protocols. The Raiders have racked up a total of $800,000 worth of fines this season. Gruden himself has been docked $250,000. Raise your hands for some Thursday night fever. Corona del Sol hosting Dobson tonight. Aztecs got one of the best backs in the state. Aniel Velasquez running over a dude there on his way in for the touchdown. Corona put up 48 points in the first half and goes on to win 51-0. The undefeated Aztecs will be our virtual studio team tomorrow night on The Fever. Caribe.
All right, Kirsten, thank you. And don't go to bed just yet. SNL's Kenan Thompson joins Jimmy on The Tonight Show right after 12 News at 10.
All right, welcome back to 12 News at 10. We want to get back to our Decision 2020 coverage. First, taking a look at the latest numbers in the presidential race for Arizona. Joe Biden's still in the lead with about 50% of the vote.
And we will have the latest numbers for you coming up on Today in AZ at 4:30 in the morning.
And finally, from the night team, it has been 5 years since the Valley went looking for a baby goat.
He's so cute. Well, little Gus Gus was taken from a petting zoo at the state fair and then went missing for about a day. Well, Gus Gus was only about 3.5 weeks old. The livestock director said that he may have been smuggled out in a jacket or even a purse.
He was found ultimately by a Good Samaritan who was walking along the canal with his dog near 31st Avenue and Peoria.
He is adorable. Thank goodness he was found. Well, thanks everyone for putting your trust in us. We're always on at 12news.com and our 12 News app. Have a great night, everyone.